Howdy. Hello. How y'all doing? Surprisingly big audience for the start. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Jamie. Hey, unknown user. I'm doing good. Just finished doing some assignments for classes, which I thought were going to be a lot harder. Turned out they weren't, which is good. But what I'm really looking forward to now is playing a game, you know, I really love. I would consider it, I mean, it always changes depending on what mood I'm in, but it's one of the free games in rotation as like my favorite game. But I would consider, I would say this one has possibly everything that I kind of love in a video game. So, without further ado, let's play some Illbleed. Hey, Tristan. Once again, a bit of a wire fiasco. Okay. So this is one of two games made by Crazy Games, formerly known as Climax Graphics, which was headed by a crazy man known as Shinya Nishigaki, who unfortunately passed in 2004 due to a heart attack. And this was the last real game he did that wasn't like an arcade game. And it's kind of like nothing I've ever played before. It's like a weird horror comedy minesweeper like thing. But it's better to show you. It starts off kind of normal, but then it just gets so weird, and I just kind of love it. It's not what you think it is. By the time we finish the first level, you'll see what I'm talking about.
For as long as I can remember, my family ran what we called a horror caravan. We hauled this house of horrors around from town to town, trying to give people a new thrill, a new nightmare. I kind of like traveling, but all that gruesome gore got to me after a while. My dad was always conjuring up new devices, tricks, and traps, each one scarier than the last. Guess who he tried them out on? Yep, me.
Oof.
I guess it toughened me up a little. I mean, you have to be brave to walk through a den of snakes or try to avoid trapdoors to make it to your room. I was a pretty fearless kid by the time I was 5, thanks to my fearsome father. He fed on others' fears and was never satisfied. My mom couldn't stand how obsessed he'd gotten, so she thankfully divorced him when I was 6. Yet I had gotten attached to horror.
Why did she wait so long?
A good old Halloween pillow and a hot red water bath soothed me. I think I might major in child psychology. So, how'd I do?
That was great! I mean, you're the head of the Horror Research Club and...
President of the Student Council. It's a given. You win this speech contest for sure.
Bro.
Hey everybody! You gotta see this!
What, Michelle? Why didn't you listen to Eriko's speech?
I don't need to. I know she'll win. Here,
Take a look at this.
Those are guest invitations to Illbleed. How'd you get them?
From a Pepco promotion.
Kill! Look, we can win $100 million there.
Yeah.
That's
We managed to get through the whole park that
That's an
day.
ungodly amount of money.
I'm game if you are.
Sure thing. I'm with ya. Whoa, whoa.
What about you, Erico?
I think I'll pass. It sounds too good to be true.
Why? You just said in your speech to conquer your fear and surpass the odds. Come on, we can test your theory.
Sounds like we're trying to be superheroes or something.
No biggie. It's just a house of horrors. Probably full of cheesy props.
Boo!
Which proves what's so weird about this. How can a funky place like that afford $100 million reward?
Who knows? Maybe they'll make it take so long to get through it, everyone will give up, go home, and the horror honchos will end up with a lot of free publicity.
Or else the whole thing is a hoax, and they don't have the money at all.
Love this voice acting.
I'm down with that.
I'm not voting or going.
For real?
Are you positive?
You sure?
Yep, you heard me.
Okay, Your Highness. Then we three humble slaves shall bring back the $100 million, and you'll be sorry.
I can't wait to commune with the undead.
I'd use the money for a chainsaw and hack my way into fame and fear. Ha ha!
Oh, brother. Okay, then. We'll catch you later, Erico.
Let's go!
And so the Three Musketeers were off. A few days later. Not really. Despite the name, it doesn't really do gore. The only thing it really does is like
Did you see
a
3
cartoonish
lights
amount of
down
fucking
here
blood.
3 days ago, they had special invites.
And it's usually only played for laughs.
What?
So there's actually a funny reason for why they don't move their mouths. As I said, this is the second game by Crazy Games. Their first game was a North American launch title called Illbleed. And Illbleed actually did have lip syncing. And it was really bad. It was, like, incredibly bad, in fact. So, let me just go in here so the music's a bit lower. Hold on. What is the volume on my side? This game feels a bit loud. Okay. So, let me just save before we begin. So they had a game before this called Blue Stinger, and it had lip syncing that was really, really bad. And it got criticized for that. So as a means to both save money and time, they just decided to, you know, not do that at all. Also, despite the first game, Blue Stinger, being the North American launch title, this one came out literally a couple of days before the Dreamcast died. And, like, was discontinued completely. Also, yes, this is Illbleed. And in North America... Oh, okay. Sorry. And in North America, it came out, like, 2 or 3 months after the Dreamcast was dead. This is a very late Dreamcast game. So I'm buying some food and some items, and I'll explain them as we use them. Okay. So we need all of those, and as you can tell by the bar on top of our head, we have to use our senses for things. The game does a decent job of explaining what to do. There is a tutorial section over here where we can get items that will carry over into the next part. So, when it comes to items, you have your senses, right? Sixth sense is a good way for determining when a battle will happen or when an item is nearby. It doesn't say which one, so you always have to kind of keep on your toes. So there should be another item nearby. It's kind of like, well, you'll see. What was the first game to have good lip sync? Fuck if I know. Here. Got an iron. I'll explain that too. Later. Adrenaline shot. I'm just grabbing these items for later. So when all your senses ping, that's when you get a horror monitor. Now, a horror monitor... Okay, well... Do you guys know what Minesweeper is? Basically, in this game, you're less dealing with enemies, although you do deal with them, than you are with jump scares. And the jump scares are kind of cheesy and stupid and goofy, but you gotta kind of check them off, right? And that way you can avoid either getting shocked as told by your heart rate off to the corner, or getting bleeding to death as told by that green bar. However, it costs adrenaline to use your horror monitor, which is determined by your brain meter over to the left hand side. You have about 500, though that varies from character to character. And you can balance this stuff all out with items that you find around the game. So, I think it's best we demonstrate. But before we go, let's take a look at this poster. Jimmy, my son! The home run of death. So this game's like a kind of haunted house simulator. Except it's parodies of horror movies from all the decades, along with just weird creative ideas. No chapter is exactly the same, and it's really fun. With the last chapter being completely insane. Can't wait to show it off to y'all. Why, thank you, Jamie.
You play a sport, a game, knowing full well that you're going to either win or lose.
Is it? Hold on.
Before your dreams come true.
Cover your ears, folks.
Neither did Jimmy or his father, Illbleed, a Minnesota innkeeper. He set up a secret practice
okay.
in the basement of his inn.
It's not so much louder.
His son practiced day after day. Jimmy's hard work and batting skills finally led his team to a state victory. It started out a crisp spring day.
I'll deal with that
Jimmy could go
possibly in the
outside
next
and play.
stream.
He and his dad went downstairs to bat the ball around a few times. Upstairs, some teenagers had been playing with fire, turning the inn into a raging blaze that was soon out of control. The inn was a total loss, and so was Jimmy, burned in minutes. Mr. Banbala was so badly maimed, he turned into a hideous monster, oozing and bleeding, snarling and growling like a beast, enraged and bent on revenge. He tracked down the kids responsible for the fire and killed them one by one with a blowtorch.
So it's kind of like...
For Banbala, he won't leave his inn.
Have you ever guys ever watched The Burning? Which is kind of like a Friday the 13th knockoff, although it came out the same year as Friday the 13th. It has a really cool theme, and has George Costanza in it, actually. Came out in the early 80s. And this is kind of a play on that, as well as other horror things. To the challengers. Your mission is to calm the anger of Bambalo. His only weakness is Jimmy. Though he is mad, he quickly drops his guard when he thinks of Jimmy. Memories of Jimmy is the key to the mission. So if we beat this level in a certain amount of time, we get money rewards. And we have multiple different characters, although I'll be honest, Erica Christie is the most interesting of the bunch.
Uh-huh.
You have all 4 senses, one makes his mysterious sixth sense. Yeah. Okay. So, blood. So, essentially, you can't skip that thing. Although, it's just kind of a reminder of this game can be tough. In fact, this is the toughest level in the game. And if you can beat it, you can beat the rest of the game. And here's where the horror monitor is. So, nearly all the scares are randomized except for a few. Like this one here. So, when it happens, you ping it. See, you kind of guess what the scare is by the, what's it called, bar. So, if it's something you can see, you know, tag something you can see. If it's something that looks like it smells more, like a gross pile of dead bodies or whatnot, then bang. Or if it's like a phone hearing. And sixth senses are for items and the like. Yeah, kind of like that, Diego. It's like advanced Minesweeper. The thing is, you can't always use your horror monitor. As we saw, what's it called? Using it does take away adrenaline. And if you get it wrong, you lose that adrenaline. But if you get it right, you gain some adrenaline back, and you don't, you know, get burned or shocked or, you know, ill and bleed. So the first level tries to play it off kind of straight, at least for the most part. It doesn't go full goofy bananas just yet. I believe that might be the smell. Yeah.
Cool.
Did your project take long? No, it actually didn't. Surprisingly enough, despite the time limit. So, what is something we can see? Is it the light bulb? It was the other door. So, my bleeding meter went up, along with my health down, and my shock was up. I believe over 150 or 170 is like a shock death. And of course, bleeding to the top or the max is, you know, just death.
Cool.
You can stop bleeding by a certain amount if you just kind of stand still for a bit. But if it goes over that little checked marked blue area, you're going to have to use a band-aid. So this here is a battle. Now, with most battles, you don't want to mess with anything. Instead, you want to go over to this heliport and mash B repeatedly to drop a ladder so you could escape the battle. Now, there are some benefits to doing battles, even though combat kind of sucks. And that is that you, what's it called? Get health. I mean, get adrenaline, like a shit ton. However, it can be really hard to do. And we got a steak dinner, which replenishes health. Advanced jump scare Minesweeper as a human character with sense. Yeah, that's kind of it.
Cool.
There should be something around here. Is it over here? Yeah. Calculator. Okay, there's a bunch of things in this. So hearing probably would be the bell. And smell? Possibly that? Okay.
Cool.
But that still leaves the question of the smell. Okay, so it was that. For the sixth sense, you have that. It's not a bad. So it kind of seems odd, but standard at first, but this game goes places, as they say, and fuck me. So luckily, that was just shock. That isn't, though. So I think it's about time we use some of our items. So food items replenish health. Doing deep breaths, heart rate. And what else is there? Oh yeah, bleeding. So it's best to stay cautious in this game. And now we're outside.
Jimmy, it's time for practice. Get out to the training field now. Hey, you're not Jimmy.
Jimmy Neutron. Well, hey, Jimbo. Item. As I said, some of the jump scares and item placements are usually pretty fixed, but most of the jump scares are kind of random. And here is a safe station. They're rare, but when you find them, you can save at any time. I mean, you know, there, at least. You don't need any money or any sort of consumable item to save. This. Shit. So if you don't scope out a fucking jump scare, you're gonna, you know, fall on your ass, essentially. And that will give them grounds to kind of kick your ass. Luckily, the dodge button gives you a metric shit ton of iframes. Yeah, essentially. This game really kind of nails the stuck at Universal, like, theme park, like, House of Horror shit, and I really dig it. And 6 cents, probably an item. And pool. The only other time I see those are basically in Silent Hill, as items at least. Got a relaxing CD to, I guess, hold on. Just in case. Yep. Okay, so we're not as shocked, and we're getting chased. So, luckily there is a sort of infighting thing, although they won't continuously attack each other. But if you can get one to hit another one, you know, that does the job well enough. Ow! This game is pretty dark. Not much I can do about that currently. Actually, I should probably use an adrenaline shot right now. That did a lot, Jesus. Okay. Okay, there's a lot of shit in here. Sight. Okay, well, the blood was right. But was the smell... Nope. Langolier turkey. But we got a steak, so... all's well that ends well. But... oh. That's a lot of blood. Okay, and there we go. That steak went to good use. Hold on. There we go. Hassie, by the way, is also in Blue Stinger as well. So it didn't just appear out of nowhere. There's a few callbacks to Blue Stinger, actually. And I got analyzed by a fan. And I'm bleeding again. We're gonna need this testimonial to add to our collection of Jimmy. Or Jimmy Neutron memorabilia. Okay. Newspaper clipping. Mass homicide at Chateau Bambalo. Owner, Mr. Bambalo, mysteriously disappears. Mercilessly murdered bodies were found at Chateau Bambalo, burned, all identified as young guests. Mr. Bambalo, the hotel owner, is missing. Details still under investigation. Mr. Bambalo's own diary was found at the site. Hatred directed toward the guest who caused the fire filled the pages. The state police are searching for their suspect, Mr. Bambalo. I think the name Mr. Bambalo was said 50 fucking times in that one article. Coolant. There are 6 or 7 things in that room. Devin, would you say this game is bloody good? Yes. Fucking, what's his name? Duke Nukem Man, John St. John, actually did a voiceover for the commercial for this game. Way back when. In 2001. Okay, that's new. I don't think I have any more bandages, so I think I gotta sit somewhat still. Give me... It's not what I needed, but thanks, I guess. Horrific. And I'm running low on health. At least bleeding related items. And you don't help. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay. Whoa. There. There we go. Still alive and at least somewhat kicking, actually. Ugh. Please, bandage, please. At least one would be nice. Okay. At least I have one thing to deal with, like, the blood loss. There's something over here. Nope. Running will also cause bleeding to get worse, so sometimes you actually need to slow down. I wonder what the jump scare will be. Got it. Okay. Now we're at the point where bleeding doesn't necessarily continue if I keep running. Okay. Got a diary. 6 month X day. Hotel business is on track. Had intensive batting exercise with Jimmy in the basement again. Batting style seems improved. Chin still goes up when he swings. We'll practice again tomorrow. We'll try 1,000 swings. X month X day. Year 1990X. Chin did a good... whoa. Chin did not go up today. Good job, Jimmy. That's the swing. Minnesota Kids League's final tomorrow. Eat protein-rich food tonight. You have a lot of energy. Papa will get up at 4 tomorrow to make a special drink for you. Do your best, Jimmy. We won the championship. Jimmy hit the winning homer. He is the MVP. Congratulations, Jimmy. I can't help shedding my tears of joy. I'll confirm all interest in the restaurant. Guests may ask, Mr. Bambolo, who's that? Ah, that's Jimmy. He's the chosen MVP in the boys' league. It's a thrill just to think about it. I shall treat the guests with barbecue tonight. I don't think that went... Oh, no, wait. He didn't cause it. Who do you think the home run king is this year? It's Jimmy. It's all because you endured hard training. You've done well, Jimmy. Your trophy is magnificent. Let's place it in our bedroom so we can so we can keep it every day. Because oh my God, I was born without the ability to read, like 100% of humans. Jimmy, keep hitting and fill the chateau with your records and trophies. Let's go, Jimmy. How many times was Jimmy said in that? Like one fucking like thing. That one note. Oh, hey, finally, a Band-Aid. It's a bit late for that. And grab that trophy. No running in the hallways. Anyone caught running will be severely disciplined. Minnesota, stop stealing my state. The unknown user state. This is what it's like living in Minnesota. Getting attacked constantly by crash test dummies. And baseball. Come on. Damn, finally. That took what felt like years. Hey, Mr. T. Jesus. Okay, can you hear me now? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, my chat wasn't updating. I have to constantly like close it. And how long was it gone for? Okay. For the last minute. Okay. Yeah, no, the chat sometimes just doesn't refresh. And I generally do not have Discord open when this is. I joined the stream and immediately heard buzzing. Yeah, that's about how these things go. Like 3 minutes. Well, that's gonna be fun. Hold on. Satan. Just because you add an accent to it, Tristan, doesn't make it Spanish. I don't think it was that long. Why don't you go back and check? Anyway, sorry about that.